You, Teresa.
Thank you very much, Madam Sergeant at Arms, and welcome to our Personal Growth Leaders Toastmaster meeting number 129. We are an advanced Toastmaster group providing a supportive and positive learning experience in which our members are empowered to enhance their communication and leadership skills, which of course results in greater self-confidence and personal growth. I'm not seeing any guests. I see Emily. Are you a guest or have you joined?
Yes, thank you so much, Teresa. I am a guest of Tristan. She's not here today. I'm a friend of Tristan, and so I attended for 2 weeks now. I'm just observing to see about joining in the near future. So thank you.
Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope you enjoy your hour with us today. Our theme today is time to slow down. And I really experienced this time to slow down this week because of the fact that I fell in a hole in my new deck, old deck that became new. And I've been struggling now with just getting around. But one of the good sides is that I had to take time just to sit and to look. And I saw some really remarkable sights this week. I never saw a hummingbird with a colorful neck. I suppose that there's a reason, perhaps that's the male. I also saw the clouds on an early morning red sun making their designs. There was a masterpiece every couple of seconds. It was just beautiful. And I think the highlight of the week was watching a mama bird just outside my window, and she was feeding her baby birds in the nest. 3 things that I probably would not have seen or observed had I not had to sit and watch. Our word today is affable or affability. Is there anyone who would like to take up the grammarian role, or we'll just continue on? Seeing none, no hands. So the word affability means friendliness, pleasantness, or charm. And that is something that we all want to experience. And at Personal Growth Leaders, we do experience the affability. I believe our agenda, other than that, is fine. Kathy is showing it to us. Yes? Okay. Thank you very much, Kathy, for bringing that up. And we will continue on if there are no questions for the agenda at this point. Okay, and I'm going to see. I still did not receive your title, Sabaria. Could you give it to me, please?
Can I do vocally now?
Yeah, just tell me.
Yeah, my title is It Starts with the Heart.
Pardon?
It starts with the heart. Hey, the mind. It starts with the mind.
Okay. Okay, that's a very affable title. Personal Growth Leaders and most welcome guests, Emily, please welcome our Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster, Sabaria, and she will be speaking about, I'm sure, something in the mind. Her title this morning is It Starts with the Mind. Distinguished Toastmaster, Sabaria, It Starts with the Mind.
Thank you very much, Kathy. Thank you very much, Toastmasters of the evening. My speech is about delivering a social speech, 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. And it's a thank you speech to a club that organized an event for me. I shall start now. I would like to thank everyone here for this welcome back gathering or party for me, to the president of the club, the secretary, and the most affirmable members of the senior citizen of Pasiguda, that is Hawaii for short. Well, it has been 5 months since I was 5 months ago that I was hospitalized, and here I am back on my feet slowly but surely, even though I was wobbling. And here I really appreciate the organization of the senior citizen for organizing these for me, to welcome me back, to help me. It helps me to motivate me further to fully recover, to be able to walk again, to dance again, and to lead the exercise program for the senior citizen. Well, I know no one of you ever imagined that your fitness instructor, me, suddenly got hospitalized for difficulty of breathing. And then the doctor says I had lung infection and also a mild heart attack. Can you imagine a fitness instructor had this and was hospitalized? Well, what everybody do not know is I'm actually having an autoimmune condition, which is SLE, systemic lupus erythematosus, which is where the antibodies of the patient will attack its own organ. Well, I've been living with it for 22 years, and I have managed to keep it under control through my healthy lifestyle by exercising well and eating well. But then this strange disease can just attack you at any time because it has its own mind. Well, and it did this time 5 months ago, and I was hospitalized. But then with this party, welcoming me back, helps me to get stronger, and it motivates me all the more to be recovering, fully recovered. And it also motivates me to not walk wobbly like a dog, but it makes me want to walk properly because I want to come back and to be able to teach fitness again. It helps me to bounce back. And I believe that everybody, your affirmability to visit me at the hospital motivates me further. And I know that I will come back. I will bounce back, not just bounce back on my fitness ball, but I will bounce back in life. And I believe it starts with my mind. When I first had it, I told myself, I want to recover. I want to be healthy. I want to be dancing again. I want to be healthy and breathing and walking straight to the last day of my life. And I believe that every one of you would also want to do that. You would also want to be healthy, to be walking, to be dancing to the last day of our life. And it all starts with the mind. If you believe you can do it, if you believe you'll be healthy right to the last day, we will be able to be healthy. So to everybody, let's have a good life, and let's all start. Let's have a positive mental attitude. Back to you, Toastmasters of the Evening.
Thank you so much. And if you know Sabaria's WhatsApp name, it's Glamour Girl. So we're waiting for glamour as well, not just bouncing back, but we're waiting for the glamour. But you are glamorous. So don't worry about that part, but I love it. Thank you so much. And yes, we've been with you the whole time, cheering you on. Welcome. Thank you. And our second speaker for today is our past president, Anvitha Hedge. Anvitha is speaking from the Dynamic Leadership Pathways, Level 1, Writing a Speech with a Purpose. And her time is 5 to 7 minutes. Please welcome Anvitha Hedge. 8020 Anvitha Hedge.
Oh God, I have so much to do. I have to run to the grocery store, finish my favorite novel, call my friend, read the newspaper, send an email to my manager, cook dinner. From where do I start? Good day, Toastmasters. I'm your guest. Raise your hands if you have ever sat at your desk like me, thinking of your to-do list with absolutely no idea where to start. Don't worry. Pareto's principle, otherwise known as the 80-20 rule, will provide the solution to your problem. For many outcomes, 80% of consequences come from 20% of causes. This is called as the Pareto's principle or the 80-20 rule. In the early 1900s, Wilfred Pareto recognized this occurrence when studying Italy's wealth distribution. He observed that 80% of Italy's land was owned by only 20% of its population. He noticed this occurrence in many other things, for example, the productivity of pea plants in his garden. It is very important to note that Pareto's principle is not a mathematical formula. It is just a correlation between effort and results. If only 20% of your task list is deemed a high priority, why not focus your time and effort there? I have personally seen some examples of Pareto's principle in my life. 80% of the profits of my company, which is Philips, come from 20% of the products it sells. While working, I have observed that fixing the top 20% of the most reported bugs in a software program will eliminate 80% of related crashes and errors. I wear only 20% of my clothes 80% of the time. Check your wardrobe, you may do it too. Pareto's principle helped me a lot during my college days. I would study past quizzes and tests to see which topics were covered the most. I would study that thoroughly. The idea is that if a student can identify 20% of the material that will be on the test, they can focus on that and still get a good grade. You can apply this principle on any aspect of your life. It will maximize your productivity. According to Pareto's principle, only 20% of your effort will produce 80% of your results. It does not mean that you should go to office only one day in a week or work only 20% of the time. Pareto's principle doesn't suggest you to work less. It will only redirect you in the right direction. How can you use Pareto's principle to increase your productivity? If you are in charge of a team or overseeing a project, using Pareto's principle, you can identify high priority tasks. Suppose you have 10 tasks. Pareto's principle will assume that even if your team members spend an equal amount of time on all the tasks, only 2 of those tasks will carry the bulk of the results for your project. To apply Pareto's principle, first make a list of all the tasks that needs to be done for your project completion. Include everything, do not leave anything out, because some tasks may seem small, but they can have a big impact on your project. After making the list, consider only those tasks that have a significant impact on your project to give the highest results. Now, delegate only those tasks to your team members. You can worry about the rest later. Apply the same to your own to-do list. Identify high priority tasks. Focus your time and effort there. How can you use Pareto's principle in your business? It will allow you to take tough business decisions. Maybe you have a different list of different projects for different clients, but you're short on time. Using Pareto's principle, you can please and build solid relationships with the clients who yield the most profits. If you're managing a team, Pareto's principle will help you identify which of your employees are producing the most work. Looking at the 20% of your employees who produce 80% of the work doesn't mean that we should fire everybody else. Instead, you can use the findings of Pareto's principle to delegate tasks fairly to all your team members. Dear Toastmasters, do not sweat the small stuff. This is what Pareto's principle teaches us. Work hard on the tasks that matter the most. Use 80-20 rule to use 100% of your life efficiently. I'm going to call my friend after this meeting. She's a very affable person. Do you know what you're going to do next? Back to DTM Teresa.
Thank you very much, Madam Past Presidents and Vita, for your very affable presentation. As usual, you've taken something and made it bite-sized for some of us that perhaps are having difficulty understanding what it really means in the real world. So thank you again for your presentation. Enjoyed it. Our table topics master this morning is Sanjeev. So please welcome Sanjeev.
Yeah, thank you, Teresa. Toastmaster Teresa. I think I'm having some camera problems, so I don't know what's the problem, but still I'll go without camera. That's so. Today table topic I've aligned completely with the today theme of our meeting, and it's a very beautiful theme today, and I like it very much. It's time to slow down and reflect. So as a part of today's table topic, I'll be asking you questions which is mostly related to your past, how you have learned throughout the year, how you have managed your life so far, and it's all based on today's theme. So let's get started. Anybody who would like to volunteer for the first topic, please let me know. If
I volunteer.
Yeah, Kaushal, thank you very much for taking this. So the first topic goes to you, and it's if you had to teach something, what would you teach?
Mr. Topic Master, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. If I had to teach something to everyone, and I bet this is something that Sabaria and Teresa would agree with me on, given what they've said this meeting, I would teach people to pay attention to their bodies and to pay attention to their health, because every body is different. You know how in school, you had gym class and they made everyone do the same exercise. They expected everyone to be at the same pace. They expected everyone to run at the same distance at the same time. That's really not how people work. Everybody has a different body, and activities and exercise are not going to work the same for everyone. So what I would teach is to pay attention to your body and know its strengths and weaknesses and work on those occasionally. Not occasionally, but appropriately. I've always enjoyed lifting weights, but in the past few years, I've had to be hospitalized a couple of times because as I'm growing older, I'm reaching my limitations and I'm forgetting that my body has limitations. So I've been seeing a personal trainer now, and I've been working out much more effectively as a result. I'm not getting hurt anymore, and I'm making better progress. So I think that's what I would teach. You need to find somebody, a personal trainer, who can work with your body, gauge your progress, and recommend the best exercises for you. Mr. Topic Master.
Thank you very much, DTM Kaushal, for speaking on this topic. I personally, now today the concept have changed. The exercise is not only play a crucial role to build your body. In fact, your food and your lifestyles matter a lot, which already have Sabaria explained in her speech. So thank you for that. So moving to the next topic, and if anybody volunteer, then it would be great.
I can volunteer.
Oh, Pranish, thank you very much, Pranish, for
Okay.
taking this. Okay, so the topic for you is, which is worse, considering your past experience, which is worse, failing or never trying? Which is worse, failing or never trying?
Okay. Thank you. Table topic, master, and it's a really very nice topic actually. Which is the worst? Whether try and fail or don't try. So I will say try and fail is the with not trying is the worst thing actually, because if you will try, so you will get definitely two things: either you will get success or you will get failure actually. So in case of failure also, you will get some idea and some knowledge, and that later you can use that idea and knowledge to guide other people. So if even you are failing also, you are getting something. So it better to fail and try and fail. And it's a worst thing that you, if you are not trying, or if someone is not trying that one. So this is my for example, suppose and you want to play some sports and you have never played that sport as, so then also you can go and try, because once you'll try, it might possible that you will get some physical benefit, and you will, like we talked a lot about our physical benefits, actually want to improve our health and everything, so you can improve those things. And if you even you will not able to work up to a very good level, like suppose not like a sportsman, then also is are a sportswoman, then also you will learn a lot of things, and later you can guide to others that how to play that game better actually, or later you can uh, guide yourself and learn from the trying that how you can do better and how you can become the champion of that game or thing actually. So the life, we always feel there is a challenge when we try something new, so trying is the better thing and the not trying is the worst thing. So over to you, tabletop master.
Thank you, Pranish, for such a wonderful thought. Yes, we should always trying instead not trying. That's very important. The worst thing is never trying. Okay, so moving to the next topic. Anybody would like to volunteer?
Can I volunteer?
Yeah, sure, Anvita. Thank you very much for to come forward. And your topic is, when you are 80 years old, considering your entire experience, when you are 80 years old, what will matter you the most?
I don't think I'll live that long considering my lifestyle choices. But hypothetically, if I live till I'm 80, then memories will matter the most to me. Good day, Toastmasters and guests. Life is like an ice cream. We should have it soon by living in the present moment. Otherwise, it will melt away. That is what I'm doing right now. Living in the present moment, basking in the glory of this beautiful life, absorbing information, learning, giving all I have, and sometimes accepting things as they are too. When I was a student, I was always worried about examinations. Will I pass? Will I be able to complete this assignment? Why is my friend not talking to me? Should I really participate in the college fest? So on and on and on. This was in my first year of engineering. When I entered second year of engineering, I thought to myself, what do I have with me this year? Of course, I have my textbooks and friends, but what else? I became enlightened that time. All I did the previous year was worrying about examination and other stuff when I actually could have lived in the moment, enjoyed with my friends, bunked classes, gone to movies, attended fests, but the year was gone. From then on, I decided to create memories by living in the present moment. Even yesterday, I created a memory because I met my group of friends in a cafe. We all took a picture. We had a nice time. When I'm 80 years old, I will have these wonderful memories with me. That is what I want from life. What do you want? Back to the tabletop master.
Thank you, Anvita, for making much more spicy this topic, adding your own story in that. That's I always find in your speeches as well as in your table topic. So now moving to the next topic. Anybody would like to volunteer? Or
I'll give it a try. It's Kathy.
okay, thank you very much, Kathy. Okay, so topic for you is, what do you wish you spent maximum time doing 5 years ago?
Fellow Toastmasters and honored guest, maximum time of 5 years ago. Actually, 5 years ago, I was pretty deep into some things. I was actually competing with the WBFF, and I actually, this time, I think it was 5 years ago, I was actually on my way to London to compete in an international competition. But what I wish I'd done on top of that is I wish I had gotten back to Toastmasters at the same time, because I wish I had not put off coming back to Toastmasters as long as I did. For those of you that don't know, I actually joined Toastmasters in 2010. Yeah, 2010, and just came back through 2 weeks before the lockdown happened. And that's where I got to meet all of you lovely people when we launched this group. But I wish I hadn't waited, because there's so many things that I wanted to learn and channel. I was learning so much during that competition phase too, that I would have had the opportunity. I could have combined the speaking and the competing things that I was doing at the same time. But it's wonderful to see those memories. But if I had the choice, I wish I had not waited as long. For those of you that don't know, that although I don't get nervous speaking that much, table topics terrifies me. But I had table topics right on stage when I was in London that day. So it would have been good to have had more practice before I got up there in front of the world, actually. But I wish that I had started Toastmasters, got back to Toastmasters much quicker than I did. So that is the one thing that I regret, and I wish I'd started sooner. back to you, Sanjeev.
Thank you, Kathy, for your story. And now the next person, Emily, can you please, would you like to take any topic?
Thank you, Sanjeev. I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So topic for you is what can you do today that you were not capable of doing years ago? What can you do today that you can not capable of doing a year ago?
Thank you, table topic master and fellow Toastmasters, for this opportunity to speak. A year ago, almost to the day, I was beginning a postgraduate program to become a school administrator. And as I entered that journey, I had no idea what lay ahead. In reality, my idea of what I was going to engage in was starkly different than the reality of what occurred over the course of this past year. Throughout the program I was in, I met many affable fellow colleagues, fellow teachers who were aspiring administrators for schools and districts, local districts in Los Angeles. And I formed relationships that I would not have formed had I not been part of that program. It was a trying time. There were 3 exams throughout the year that the state of California reviewed in order to get this credential. And there were many moments, many nights that I did not think I would pass. So in looking back now, that is one thing, 1 year ago today, that I did not know that I would be capable of. And now in hindsight, I'm very proud of that success. And now I'm more prepared to engage in a new adventure within the academic world of California schools. Back to you, table topic master Sanjeev.
Thank you, Emily. Yeah, I think you are a very natural speaker, and the way you explain everything is quite interesting. I'm really interested to know your story. So now moving to the next topic, and I would like to give it to Somesh. Somesh, topic for you. If we learn from our mistake, why are we always so afraid to make mistake? Did you hear me right?
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Topics Master. I think as human beings and as adults, especially, we are always conscious about what image we are projecting to others. And that is the reason we are afraid to make mistakes. We can look at us as a child, learning to walk, for example. Each of us, when we were born and when we were, say, 1 year or 1+ year, we all have learned to walk. And what happens during that phase when we are learning to walk? Some kids learn very quickly, some take more time to learn. But regardless, there is a time when we try to walk, we get up and then we fall down. Again, but we still try. We still try to walk, and then finally we start walking one fine day. So what does this actually teach us? It teaches us that we should keep trying. Failure happens. It's part of life. As long as we can learn from those failures, that is the most important thing. Einstein actually said that you cannot solve a problem with a frame of mind that you have created the problem. So what happens is whenever we are attempting some new things, we are in a frame of mind which is probably not ready for the solution. So what we should do, we should try different perspectives, try and do the same thing from different perspectives. And finally, one perspective will click. And then, it becomes the most affable perspective for us. So that is what I would say. I think most important thing is for us to keep trying and keep trying with different perspectives. Over to you, Topics Master.
Thank you very much, Sumesh. Yeah, that's a very wonderful line you said, that keep trying and keep trying with certain perspective. That's really important in life. If somebody want to transform himself or somebody want to go on in his life, then it should keep trying without afraiding doing mistake. Okay, so I think I have one more topic, time for one more topic, and I would request Rosie to take this topic. Rosie, topic for you.
Okay.
Okay, what is your happiest childhood memory? What makes you so special? You got topic? What is your happiest childhood memory? What makes you so special?
Thank you, Table Topic Master. Well, I can't remember much about my childhood memory, but the one that I really liked the most was when I took the flight for the first time when I was a child. And I like it so much because I like the airplane food. I don't know why, but it does taste better on the sky, probably. So that is my childhood memory that I like. And apart from that, I like the fact that my family, my parents, they like to go for camp, to go for a picnic, and we go from one beach to another beach. So I like that too. So that has at least create me to be an outdoor kind of person. And another thing, there's so many things that I like about that as well. Another thing that has shaped me to be something like to play tennis when I was a little kid, that I was really happy when I got my first racket. And until now, in fact, just now, I just came back from tennis. So I think a lot of things that we do from our childhood memory, our young self, that can shape us what we are doing today at the moment. Thank you. Back to you, Table Topic Master Sanji.
Thank you, Rosie, for telling your story, what all you have done in your childhood. Yes, that's true. What you started, what the habits and what the hobbies you start from your childhood, that always leave for a prolonged time. And that very interesting thing I came to know about, that you play tennis. Thank you very much for speaking on this. I think we have time for the next session, and I'm just handing back to Teresa. Back to you, Teresa.
Thank you very much, Sanjeev, for a very affable and personal and yet instructive table topic session. Thank you again for that. I would like to pass control now over to our general evaluator. Please welcome Kathy Draper.
Thank you so much, Teresa. What a great first start of the meeting. And of course, now we're going to start with our E part of the pie in our meeting. Prepared speeches, impromptu speeches, and now on to the evaluation time. Who doesn't like pie, right? If you don't like pie, we can't be friends. Sorry, I'm just kidding. Okay, so next up, we've got a couple of evaluations. First, we have Rosie, who is going to be evaluating Sabaria's speech. So take it away, Rosie.
Thank you, Madam General Evaluator Kathy. And especially Sabaria, Distinguished Toastmaster. You give us a brief description about your speech, which I think it's about acceptance speech. And I like it that you use the word of the day straight away, affability. And I love it that you share your experience, about the, I would take it like near death personal story, which is really inspire me, especially. You explained that you face with your health challenges. I like it that you use your hands effectively, and props the ball. Congratulations. I like it you pointed your head while referring, that is gesture with a meaning. And that's one example. And you can also add up while you were like dancing, you can now dance and things like that. That will help as well. And with that, add up the vocal variety to that act as well. I would also like to, one suggestion only, that I would like to know how or what was the fastest way for you to recover, so we can learn from it, like what Kaushal shared just now about is a personal, even though it's depends on the person and different people, different way of coping it. But I would like to know what was the most helpful for you to have the speedy recovery. I can see you now so much different from the other time that I saw you, and I really want to learn that from you. And I think that's the most helpful thing. Overall, it's really good to see you back again in this platform. And of course, maybe one day we can meet up in person. You are down there, down south, I'm here. And you are now able to deliver valuable speech together with sharing your experience and your personal story of how you recover. And I would like to learn which one was the most helpful for you to do that you have recovered so much. And I'm really glad to see you down today. Congratulations to you. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator. Kathy.
Thank you so much, Rosie. You did a great evaluation. I love the way you sneaked in the word of the day so that you get credit for it also. But I'm going to say also, in observing Sabri, I think this is probably, you can clearly see how much you are improving. And I think this is you had more energy in this speech, I think, and body language and everything than any of the speeches I've seen you do before. So to me, that's a clear sign of how great you're doing. I'm excited about that. Next up, we have Somesh, who will be evaluating Anvita's speech. So over to you, Somesh.
Thank you very much, Madam General Evaluator. Fellow Toastmasters, welcome guest Emily, and especially Anvita Hegde. Great speech, Anvita, as usual. 80% of our meeting is nearly done and 20% is left. Now, that is 80-20 rule for you at the moment, at the present moment. I think it was a great way. The way you start speeches, Anvita, is excellent, because you start as if you're talking about what is happening to you at the moment or any experience that you had. And then you say, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. So you give a prelude to your speech, and then you start your speech. It's a very great way of doing it. And then this time I noticed you had asking people question as well, which generally you don't do. So you've gone a little bit out of your comfort zone and you have actually added a new element to your speech. Excellent, well done on that. The flow of the speech, introduction of the person who actually came up with the Pareto rule and how he came up with the Pareto rule, the whole background was excellent, very well done. And the experiences that you had was also very well described. What I would suggest in terms of the experiences that you mentioned was, you could perhaps have one story from the beginning to the end depicting how the 80-20 rule would have got applied. Generally, what I've seen is people who do great speeches, and you are someone who's got a caliber for, great speeches, literally, like we have seen it many, many times. What they do is, say, world champion of public speaking, what they do generally is, I've noticed this many times, they take one particular message and they keep repeating that message across. But how they repeat it is they have one single story thread across, and then they keep repeating that point every time. And I think somehow or other, like I have not done, so I probably am not the right person to actually give you this suggestion, because I personally have not done that. But you have the capability to do it, and I would recommend that you should try that. So that would be my small suggestion. Otherwise, you always do great speeches, and we always look forward to hearing your speeches. So thank you very much, Amrita. Over to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you. Excellent evaluation, Somesh. And I love with Anvita, she's such a great storyteller, but one of the things that you greatly excel at, Anvita, all the time is you open your speeches up with a bang every time, whether it's a story, you always do such a great job. Next up, we're going to go get into our reporting side, and I'm going to hand it over to our timer, Kaushal.
Yes, fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Here are the times for our speeches today. Sabaria spoke for 4 minutes, 10 seconds. Anvita for 6 minutes, 38 seconds. For our table topic speakers, I was the first table topic speaker, but I forgot to time myself. I think I was within 2 minutes though. Pranesh spoke for 2 minutes, 1 second. Anvita, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Kathy, 1 minute, 58 seconds. Emily, also 1 minute, 58 seconds. Somesh, 1 minute, 59 seconds. Rosie, 1 minute, 38 seconds. For our evaluation speakers, Rosie spoke for 2 minutes, 44 seconds, and Somesh spoke for 2 minutes, 29 seconds. Those are the times.
Excellent. Well, I was trying to get the Udemy to give me a report on our grammarian. I'll post it whenever it finishes the report, but it has not done yet. So I'm going to hand things back. We started our meeting on time, and we had great participation. I don't know what else to say about our meeting. We're awesome. And I'm glad that we got Emily involved on here. You did a great job on table topics. I know this is all new to you, but I'm glad you joined us, especially even though your best buddy's not here today. I'm so glad you joined us. So I'm going to hand this back over to the Toastmaster of the day.
Well, thank you very much, Kathy. And yes, I have to agree with you. It was a very affable meeting that we all enjoyed. I did hear the word of the day, affable, a few times. So that is great, especially when our theme was slow down and smell the roses. And I think that we learned from both of our speakers today that how important it is just to live and have life. Emily, would you like to give us a comment on our meeting today, please?
Thank you, Teresa. Once again, this was a very enjoyable way to start my morning. In Los Angeles, it's 6 a.m. And so this is becoming a new tradition for me. It's only a third week in, but I'm looking forward to it each week, starting my Saturday morning with all of you. It invigorates me, I'm finding, and I'm learning from each of you, from Somesh to his suggestions, to Anvita, things such as using hand gestures. So thank you to each of you. You all are very knowledgeable, and I'm enjoying learning from all of you and spending time with you on Saturday. So thank you, and back to you, Teresa.
Thank you very much, Emily, for being our guest. For next week, we do need a second evaluator for Tristian's speech. Okay, Sabaria? We need a timer